Toastmasters Club. The mission of a Toastmaster Club is to empower individuals to become more effective communicators and leaders. Today, we are entering into meeting number 640. There are basic ground rules for this particular meeting. This being an online meeting, I'll request all of you to, in respect of the speaker, request all of you to come on video unless and until your bandwidth is low. One, if you are not a speaker, if you are in a noisy area, please mute yourself. And in addition to that, if you feel if there is any disturbance in your line, please just withdraw or log off and then please log in. Let's not disturb the other proceedings. And I would also personally request you to send in messages and individual messages to people instead of just putting it as a group chat and then disturbing the whole flow of the meeting. Let's not disturb the speaker or any meeting proceedings which is happening. Now, I would like to welcome the president of Medley Toastmasters. The president of the Medley Toastmasters is again going to be the presiding officer of the meeting today. Ranga was, to me personally, as a person open to ideas. I can just have an argument with him and then at the same time take a feedback from him. That rapport is what a most important quality I look in a leader. That is where Ranga to us. And over to the presiding officer of the day of Medley Toastmasters Club, Ranga.
Thank you so much for the warm introduction, Team Kalyan. With the sound of this gavel, I would like to declare meeting number 640 open. I don't see any guests here, so we'll just start off the meeting straight away. The theme of the meeting today is never give up. And this is by Toastmaster Venkatesan, who's been a long-standing member. When I asked him a few words to introduce himself, he said he works as a domain expert in a leading IPR firm in Chennai. To me, he's quick in his thoughts and is always waiting for an opportunity to crack the TT role. With that, I hand over the proceedings to Toastmaster Venkatesan to take it forward.
Thank you, President. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and distinguished guests. I am Venkatesan. Today I am going to play Toastmaster of the Day role today in Medley. The theme of the day is never give up. Dear Toastmasters and guests, Dhirubhai Ambani's legacy has been taken over by their sons, Anil Ambani and Mukesh Ambani. But if you take the life history of Abdul Kalam as well as Elon Musk, you should know that the never give up attitude. But I am going to talk about my personal life. Till 6th standard, I studied in Kumarajamata High School in Tamil medium. Till 5th standard, Tamil medium. 6th standard, they used to conduct an entrance test to recruit in English medium. I got a first mark and selected from Ronnie Memi to Kumarajamata High School. From 6th standard to till PG, completed in English medium. But I have a problem in communicating with others. For this, I joined Medley 11 years back. Now, because of Medley's experience, I have cracked my trademark attorney exam in the Viva. I got first mark in the South Zone. It was notified in the website www.nac.india.in. You can check that. My name will be there as a trademark agent. That is why I used to tell everyone, in your life, you cannot give up. Failure is the stepping stones. Then I'll come back about my 10th standard experience, even in that school. I got maths 82 and in science I got 75. I applied for Central Polytechnic and CNT, Single Orion Polytechnic, for a diploma course. But because of the quota system, I could not get the seat. What was my plan was to complete diploma and then complete BE. Those days, 25 years back, my cousin brothers, cousin sisters were engineers and doctors. I want to do that, like that way, but it fails. In the meantime, What I did is, after +2, I got in maths, physics, chemistry. Those years, and 25 years back, 30 years back, you have to write dot 1, dot 2, that listing will be there, entrance exam. I could not qualify for that to write the exam. For the special community, you should score 70% aggregate total value. I could not write. Mine is 69.5. Then I decided that I could not get BE also. Then I applied for physics in Lila College. They said that physics, your mark is very less, but we can give you maths, that too in evening college. I refused and I joined in some other college, government college, and then completed. Later, I completed MCA. Myself with gold medalist, only 10 marks difference in only one subject, that is called networking. I am interested in networking. I'll continue my story. Before that, in the meantime, I'm going to call the Toastmaster Budai. He is going to deliver his first speech in our family, Medley family. First, I request all the audience to give a big round of applause before he is going to start the speech. Yes, Kalyan?
General evaluators.
Oh, general evaluator should. Oh, okay. Sorry, Kalyan. I made a mistake. The general evaluator is Toastmaster Dinagaran. When I was talking about the topic, the theme of the day, never give up, he is working in Cognizant more than 2 decades. The theme of the day, when I was talking to him, never give up. He said that never give up attitude is good, and everyone should have that never give up attitude. Then only they can come up in their life. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Dear Modi. Hope all of you are able to hear me. Okay. Yeah. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. Now, today I'll be playing the GE, the General Evaluator role for today's meeting. Toastmaster gives an opportunity to prepare well and deliver our speeches. At the same time, it also gives us an opportunity to evaluate ourselves on an immediate basis in terms of the time that we are delivering the speech, and also the way that we are delivering the speech, and also the grammatic level of the speech that we are actually delivering. So this is one of the team that we have as a part of the general evaluation. We also have a set of evaluators who will actually evaluate the speeches in detail and also give the immediate feedback. For now, I will immediately introduce the tag team. Today's timer role will be played by Toastmaster Kalyan. Toastmaster Kalyan is actually a veteran in Toastmasters. He's actually one of the examples for the never give up attitude. So he came from a different place and came to Chennai and worked for some IT company. Then actually he wanted to pursue his own career, and then he has set up his own path, and also he has climbed a lot of levels in Toastmasters. I would request Kalyan to introduce his roles and responsibilities.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I'm going to play the role of a timer today. Time and tide wait for none is the old adage. For us today, one should control the time. Then you can just conquer the world. That's what Toastmasters trains you, teaches you. I'm here going to time prepared speeches, table topic speeches, evaluation. In addition to that, all the role player speeches in today's meeting. For prepared speeches, today we have 2 types of prepared speeches. One prepared speech is going to be between 5 minutes, and the other 2 prepared speeches is 4, 5, 6, and 7 minutes. What I mean by 4, 5, 6, and 7 minutes, 5th minute, I'll be raising a green card. I'll be presenting a slide of a green card. Allow me to share my screen. And in 6th minute, I'll be showing it amber. And 7th minute, I'll be showing it to red card. This will be the slides I'll be sharing. For the speakers, if you are a speaker or a role player, if you are using a slide, then I will change my background. Please pin me. There in the right side, there will be 3 buttons. You can just pin the timer. Please pin me, and then so that you can just see my backgrounds changing to green, amber, and red. So this will be my timing signals. What happens with as I mentioned, the prepared speeches 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7 will be my green, amber, and red. For table topics, I'll be again showing 1, 1:30, and 2. That will be like 1 minute, 1 minute, 30 seconds, and 2 minutes. But again, for evaluation, I'll be showing a green, amber, red with 2 minutes, 2:30, and 3 minutes. Will be my timing signals. I will just give a detailed timing report at the end when I was called by the general evaluator. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalyan. As I said, the way that we deliver speech will be actually evaluated by our accounter. Today's accounter is Toastmaster Lakshmi. She lives in Tiruvanmiyur for past 15 plus years or so. Again, like Toastmaster Lakshmi is another example for the never give up attitude. She's actually like having a family, taking care of the family, and although at the same time, she's actually working for a banking sector. And again, she wants to develop in the Toastmaster arena, and then she has been a regular Toastmaster so far. I would request Toastmaster Lakshmi to introduce herself and then introduce the roles and responsibilities. Over to Toastmaster Lakshmi.
Thank you, Dinakar Ji. Thank you for the warm introduction. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of the heart counter is to note the words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pass filler by anyone who speaks during the meeting. I will listen or overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler words, including and yeah. I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, or this means, at the end of this meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these words, these expressions. Thank you, GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi. Yeah, now the grammar of the speeches delivered by all our Toastmaster will be evaluated by our grammarian. Today's grammarian is our renowned DTM Guru Prasad. DTM Guru, again, like veteran Toastmaster, he has played multiple roles at the Toastmasters and then the area level, and he is one of the successful humorous speaker. I would request Toastmaster Guru, DTM Guru, to introduce his roles and responsibilities.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, sir.
First of all, my sincere apologies. I had some serious internet connection issue. I was trying very much. So it didn't work out. Then I decided never to give up. So I somehow got connected. I am in. And I once again apologize for my delay in joining and making you all wondering where I am. Well, with respect to today's meeting, I'm very, very glad to be playing the role of a grammarian, the role I respect a lot in the whole Toastmasters meeting right from my day one, because it gives a chance for that role player to be very keen on observing the language part of the delivery of every performer in the Toastmasters meeting. Understand, observe, comment, as well as learn on the usage of language, the beauty of language. So that's how I name it as grammarian role. Throughout the meeting, I'll be observing every sentence, every word uttered by the role players, speakers, and performers, and making copious notes of what was so good about it. And also, to my best of my knowledge, I'll try to observe if there are any mistakes or errors that could be corrected. I'll be recommending them in the end when I present my grammarian report. It also is my duty to present a last-minute surprise word of the day for all of you to use as much as possible in today's meeting. So I would like to share my screen and show you the word of the day. The word of the day, in line with the theme of the day, never give up, is perseverance. Perseverance is an attitude where you never give up until you achieve your goal. My best example is I was so perseverant in joining today's meeting, irrespective of all my internet issues, and I succeeded in joining the meeting. So I request all the role players, performers, and table topic speakers, everyone, to use wherever appropriate this word of the day into your speech, and we'll all upload whenever you make use of it. In the end, I'll also be noting down how many people use this word perseverance, and we'll be uploading your extempore usage of this word of the day. With these words, I hand it over to General Evaluator. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DTM Group. Dear Toastmasters and guests, with this, the evaluation team will be signing up, and then we'll be coming back for the detailed evaluation session, and then we'll be giving the feedback of all the proposed speeches, and then the TT speakers, and the overall the meeting for the day. So with this, we'll hand it over to TM Over to TM Thank you.
Thank you, General Evaluator Dinaran. The first speech is going to be an icebreaker speech. Is going to be delivered by Toastmaster Uday. He's a banker. He loves to stay with family and he loves to go to the gym daily. When I was talking about what is your opinion about the theme of the day, he said that theme of the day applicable to all human beings, but only human beings are making the history. He was talking like that. Dear Toastmasters, please give a big round of applause before he's going to deliver a speech. Just encourage him. I request all the Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Over to you, Toastmaster Uday.
Yeah, thank you. Are you all able to hear me and see me? Is it okay? Yeah. So delivering a speech for a lot of people, it will be a kind of thrilling and very challenging experience. For me, even the preparing a speech itself was a very challenging for me. I, in fact, just searched through a lot of YouTube just to find out icebreaker speech content, which will be suitable for my, the life journey, but nothing helped. And on the other side, I was just thinking, at least we'll just have we'll just see some people who just deliver it ahead of me so that we can just gather some courage to deliver my speech. But unfortunately, I'm the first person to deliver my speech. And finally, I called Sundaresan sir, my mentor, to just talk about it. So I have prepared, but at the same time, I don't know, nothing just comes to my mind. Then he just gave me another task. You throughout the speech, you have to carry your smile. Don't just worry. You go on with your speech. Nothing is going to happen. We all are going to hear you 4 to 6 minutes. So with that courage, I will just start. Good evening, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, dear President and guests. I was born in Chennai, and my parents believed one of the school in our proximity would be a good choice for me. So after I've just joined throughout my 12 years academic journey, I've just learned through all the skills. And throughout my journey, I thought all these hardships and the kind of challenging task reading and this will just continue for 12 after academic, this will get over. Then with that thought, I just joined in a company, which is a financial institute where I happen to deal investment and time deposit product where it requires a lot of focus. And the first day when I just joined office, I was just given almost 200-page document to be read in one day. And very soon they just told me that this has to be completed in a day. But immediately I told them it would take a month or 6 months during my college and almost 1 year during my schooling. How come I could just come across? My simple thought was everything will get over after that academic is over, that reading and all those stuff. But it just continued. Then I realized the learning will never be ended as long as we just go on. So with that, in fact, with my playful character and everything, I was not really able to cope up with such a critical tasks and everything. But very soon, I just realized, okay, this has to somewhat, we just need to, with our perseverance, we have to prove ourselves. And I put in a lot of hard work, and then I just learned and almost, in fact, excelled most of my co-workers, and I was well recognized by my company. And at the same time, I was even given back-to-back 3 promotions, and even I excelled in my career as well in a short span. When I just look back, all this, in fact, the kind of my life was waking up at 3:30 and reporting office to 4:30 and getting to sleep at 8:30. This was my routine. And overall, but it was very satisfactory for the time being. But when I just look back after 7 years, my the lot of health issues and everything, then I just started realizing, so what has something has gone changed within the 6 to 7 years of span, which has in fact completely changed my life. Then I just looked at the schooling and college and all through my life that I used to go to gym and I was very active in games and everything. So I realized it should always be part of our life, no matter what happens. It has to just carry forward. So I just started all these things just by, compromising my office timing and everything. Then it was okay, somewhat. And a very important thing, another important thing, my marriage. In fact, a lot of people, they talk about their marriage. Very hardly I get very positive feedback about marriage. But in my life, it was entirely different. I'm just blessed to have a very lovable and caring wife, and a very caring wife. And moving on to my Toastmaster journey, when I was in Pune, I was attracted by Toastmaster, and I just joined in one of the Toastmaster club. My simple thought was just by listening people, just by observing people, we could just learn public speaking. But later on, I just realized Toastmaster is not a place to learn just by observing, that you have to do that practical things, and then you need to learn that. So I was asked to give a icebreaker speech initially. Then I said, okay, I will just come back. No one can guess how long I would have just taken. Almost 2 months after that, my renewal period itself has come. Then I thought, okay, we'll take a break and we'll just come back again after having, some sort of skills developed. Then again, after I just joined, still I was not able to deliver. For some reason, it just went on. And then I have got a transfer to Chennai. Now I have moved back, and I have even joined the Toastmaster in Chennai. With the hope that within a very few weeks, I've joined with a proper mentorship. I'm able to just deliver my speak. Within a few weeks, I've joined. So I hope that my career learning journey with the Toastmaster will be forever. Thank you. Over to Toastmaster Billy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Uday, for a wonderful speech. The second speaker is Toastmaster Sundaresan. He is going to deliver in Motivational Strategy Level 1, Project 2, second speech. The title of the speech is For the Sake of Others. Yes, according to me, he is a very good mentor for Medley. Whenever you ask anything, so I'm going in a right path, he will say immediately, he will call you immediately after the meeting, and he will tell you that you should smile a little bit and you should look at the camera and you deliver it. Otherwise, everything is fine. In a soothing way, the voice is very, that not like controlling or any other thing. In the friendly manner he used to talk. When I was talking about the theme of the day, he told me that theme of the day, because of never give up attitude, humans have grown up. Each and everyone should have this attitude, according to him. Toastmaster Sundaresan? Toastmaster Sundaresan?
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Yeah. Stage is for you. All the best.
Hello, mic testing. Can you hear me? Venkatesan, TMOD, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can deliver.
I'm managing in my mobile since power supply has gone. Okay, thank you. Now I'll start. Some people always go an extra mile for the sake of others. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good afternoon.
Sir, you are in mute.
Hello, is it audible?
It's audible now only, sir.
Okay, thank you. Some people always go an extra mile for the sake of others. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Once I visited my school after a long time. Believe me, I couldn't recognize my school because it was located within a mini forest. Out of excitement, when I asked my headmaster, how about this greenery? With a smile, he said, one of the old students, now a present landlord of Trichy, has given a gunny bag of excellent seeds. And this is the after effects of the sapling, trees, and other greenery here. I learned one thing. This old student has gone an extra mile for the sake of present students, and he has emphasized greenery and the environment also. Some people always go an extra mile for the sake of others. During my college days, we used to take breakfast in a particular roadside canteen. Well, hygiene and well maintained also by an old lady, making delicious items, breakfast items, idli, tosha, vada, pongal, you name it, it will be delicious in her stall. Whenever we used to take, I have seen few workers will come and stand in a line and collect food packets and go. Never she has charged anything. One day out of curiosity, when I asked that old woman, how you are managing this shop? She said happily, my children have given everything. I have everything. And I'm just doing a charity like this by giving free packets. And by evening, when they are coming back after their work, after collecting their wages, they spare something from them as a token. I understood one thing. This lady is going an extra mile for the sake of the workers in that area and making sure that nobody goes to work with the empty stomach, a noble soul. After becoming a Toastmaster, few times I was doing interview in Tamil for Tamil Changams in Gulf. One time I was asking few gentlemen few questions, happily, cheerfully they were replying. But when I asked one question, they all didn't reply and they were upset. I asked kindly, please reply. The question was, what one factor made you to come all the way from your town and work in this extreme temperature in a construction company? Can you believe 9 out of 10 gentlemen replied in Tamil that they wanted to give the best education for their children. I understood these fathers have gone an extra mile for the sake of their children, leaving their loved ones at their hometown. Noble souls. Some people always go an extra mile for the sake of others. Today, I want to appreciate even all the role players in our Medley Toastmasters Club. They all are going an extra mile for the sake of speakers like us. And I do admire the ExCom who go an extra mile during their term for the growth of their club, for the members at all level, club level, area level, division level, and district level. Fellow Toastmasters, I'll make a request to you all. If we try sincerely, we all can go an extra mile for the sake of others. If it is affordable, just try. Go for an extra mile and donate something for the needy and poor. If you have time, well, go an extra mile and do your service for humanity. By doing service, we can bring unity among us, and certainly unity will blossom around us. Going an extra mile is a lesson learned from this in my life, in Toastmasters, and from my social life also. You may be wondering whether I have gone an extra mile in my life. Certainly I have gone. One of my friends went to North India without knowing Hindi. So all the way I went and taught him through postal cards that word, Hindi, and made him to learn by postal cards for the next 2 weeks. Thank God he didn't come back from North India. I know about their family. They were desperately requiring his salary. But out of his curiosity and my stubbornness, he learned Hindi. And after 2 weeks, I got a call from him that he's continuing in that job in North India by managing with those few words. I think I have also gone an extra mile in my life helping someone. Why don't you try? We Toastmasters have a lot of perseverance also. Over to Toastmaster of the Day, Venkateshan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sundaresan, for a wonderful speech. Next speech is going to be delivered. Next speech is humor. Engaging Humor, Level 2, Project 1. And the title of the speech is Joyce Jaunty Jalebi. Evaluated Perisomi, you can talk about the rules and other things for the speech for the target speaker. Evaluated Toastmaster Perisomi.
Yes, sir, I'm here. Actually, my target speaker is Toastmaster Sundaresan, sir.
Atishay.
I'm evaluating Toastmaster Sundaresan sir's speech.
Atishay is the evaluator.
Atisha is the evaluator for him.
Atishay? Atishay is there? Toastmaster Atishay?
I don't see Atishay.
I even sent him all the details.
It's not in the list.
He's not in the list.
No, but in the
Okay.
Guru, can you take over as evaluator for the Toastmaster DTM Sambat Sodarajan speech?
Venkatesan, I'm already doing a Zoom Master, Grammarian, and Sahitams. I think it's difficult for me.
This is Sugamti. I can take it up.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Sugamti.
I will send the evaluation resource immediately to her.
Thank you, sir.
I just sent project 8208.
Yes, I got it. Thank you. The purpose of DTM Sampat's project is to begin developing a collection of stories and to present a speech that includes humor. For his speech today, he will be working to add humor through anecdotes and stories. The speech should not be a report on the current of Know Your Sense of Humor project. All the very best, DTM Sampath, and over to a Toastmaster of the day.
Venkatesan, you may take over. Evaluator is finished.
Yeah. DTM Sambat Sodarajan. Just, I remember 6 years back, he gave a wonderful speech about Carnatic music in Gandhinagar Club. He is a multifaceted person, according to me. He will discuss with me through WhatsApp, whatever the messages I'm forwarding to him. He is having one of the never give attitude in everything, either in Toastmasters or by profession. By profession, he is a doctor. Now you can verify with aspirin formation also, he will tell you. He's such nice, he's a walking encyclopedia in Medley Toastmasters Club. He will talk about language, sports, cricket. He will send the quizzes and he will say that this is not a Farooq engineer. This is Brijesh Patel. He is a person like that. He is going to deliver a speech in level 2, project 1 in humor, engaging humor. Stage is yours, DTM Sambat Sodarajan.
Thank you very much. The title of the speech is Joyce Jaunty Jalopy. I don't know how many of you might have seen this movie called Those Daring Young Men in the Jaunty Jalopy. It's a very famous movie which came in 1960s. Anyway, now timer, you can start. Please tell all good things about me. Shekhar told Shankar. Shankar was the HR manager in Shekhar's office and they were good friends. This problem was a very serious one. life and death for Shaker. Shaker was trying to fix his marriage. And he was expecting his would-be father-in-law to telephone the HR department and find out about Shaker's nefarious nocturnal activities. So he told Shankar, do good. Said yes. That old man was very clever. He didn't want to talk to the HR manager or any senior person. He called during the lunch hour and caught a peon there. And this peon didn't like Shaker because he never tipped him. So the peon was not interested in praising him. The father-in-law asked, does Shaker smoke? No, not always. Only when he drinks. Oh, he drinks? No, not regularly. Only if he loses money in rummy and feels sad. The telephone line was cut and Shaker is still a bachelor. Dear Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, this story will be the reverse. You are going to hear the opposite of this in my speech. In 1990s, early, I went to Bahrain. It took me just 24 hours to find out that I cannot live in Bahrain without my own car. The public transport was weak, but the petrol was cheap. So I decided to go for a driving license. And first test, gone. Then Venkatesan murmured in his ears, never give up. So I went for the second test. That day I was lucky because the examiner was in great mood. I got through. I got the license. Now I want a car. What car? I called many of my colleagues and friends for suggestions. Everyone quickly cut the telephone call or escaped from me saying there is some urgent work. I was wondering what happened. Then someone told me they all think that you are trying to get loan from them for buying a car. I was only 3 months old there. I didn't have much saving. And I didn't want to go to bank and buy a new car. You know why? Gulf was very uncertain in those days. Anytime Uncle Saddam could set a scud missile to hit me on my head. Those were those days. So I thought I'll go for a second-hand car. There was one guy, Mr. Joy, my own colleague, who did run away from me when I talked about car. He said, you are right, you should go for a second-hand car. Because you are new to drive here, it's a new type of right and drive system. So you have to be careful, buy a second-hand car. Then quickly the cat, or should I say the jalopy, came out of his bag. He had a second-hand car which he wanted to sell. Second-hand, fourth time. So he talked so highly of this, not like that HR peon. About this car, he told so many good things. I bought it. Immediately after buying it, within a few days, I realized this car did not like me. I reciprocated the sentiment. The car had great perseverance in frustrating me. I had great perseverance in overcoming that. When I parked my car in the garage, I noticed there was oil in the spot. So next day I checked, there was more oil. So I went to the garage. A Bangladeshi in the local garage. I made friends with him very quickly. You know, I'm very clever. I know what Bangladeshis hated in those days. I rubbished Pakistanis and he was very good friend for me. He said, your automatic transmission gearbox leaks. Just 150 dinars, I will fix it. I said, 150 dinars? Let it leak. I don't care. He said, okay, in that case, 1 liter of oil every month. I said, good, that's good. Fill it, shut it, and forget it. Then after some time, the car thought, okay, I could not frustrate him with the oil. So what to do next? So it jammed the window glass. Then I went to the garage. He said, 110 dinars for the motor. Then I said, you put it in the backside and jam it. He said, you think you are clever? The Japanese are more clever. You cannot change that because they have designed everything in different format. They won't fit. I said, okay, then jam it permanently. I told my wife, you will not be disturbed by dusty, hot winds hereafter. She said, I know you are conscious. You didn't want to change it. I said, no, with that money, I want to buy a new Indonesian piece-skin dress material. That's how I bought my piece. Then I got into an accident. One day, I saw amber, I slowed down. I saw red, I stopped. But the fellow behind me thought both of us could have sailed through. He came. The result, his car front and my car back had a violent kiss. He got down, shook hands elaborately, greeted elaborately, called the police. Police said the fellow behind is at fault. I escaped, but I had to go to the insurance office, police office, and garage so many times. That careless fellow made me a carless fellow for 10 days. Friends, I could not pull on like this. After 1 year, I decided to sell that car. Who is my best ally? I pulled Mr. Joy because he is very good at sales. So with his help, I bought a new Corolla. So when I came with a new Corolla, my son said, Dad, that old car was better. You can never tell about these youngsters' opinion. What do you think? Corolla is better? Toastmaster of the day.
Venkat, you're on mute, Venkat.
Timer Kalyan? Kalyan?
I'm here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, eligible members.
All the speakers are qualified.
And
All the prepared speakers are qualified.
Please send me the poll. Who will send? You or
Zoom master will be sending the poll.
Yeah, I'll be sending the poll right away. Yeah.
I request all the audience take 2 seconds, within 2 to 5 seconds, select the best speaker according to you.
Venkat, in the meantime, sorry to interrupt. Is my audio, is my voice?
Yes, fine.
Yeah, the poll is done now.
Yeah, dear Toastmasters, the next training session is going to be delivered by Toastmaster Jagannathan. He is member of Toastmasters since August 2016, has served in the Infosys, XCOM of Infosys Toastmasters Club for 18 months as President, Vice President Education and Vice President Public Relations. He has been contesting since 2016 and finished second runner-up in the inaugural District 120 Evaluation Speech Contest 2021, which covers Toastmasters clubs of Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry. He was also the second runner-up in Division G, District 82 International Speech Contest 2018. He opens evaluation has to be like rain, never too strong to erode the soil, but to be adequate enough to nurture growth. All the best, Jagan. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Venkat. So today, the session is about unleash the champion evaluator in you. It's because every one of us has the champion evaluator in us. I'll explain this particular picture which is on the background. Now there is a person who is on the piano. He's in his shorts, just his shorts, and everything is black. And he's just unleashing the champion in himself. So today, the session's objective are these. We will understand the demand of the contest, how an evaluation contest is conducted, what are the demands of the contest, the structure of a contest speech, content of each part, do's and don'ts, the practice, how do you practice for evaluation contest, how you can go the extra mile, and that each and every one of us is a champion. Now, here I want to take a quick poll. Who does not know what is an evaluation speech contest? Venkat is raising his hands. Okay. Now, for the benefit of Venkat as well as whomever who raises their hands, I did not know. So, an evaluation speech contest is conducted under the Toastmasters International banner. It goes till the district level where there will be a target speaker, and the target speaker will deliver 5 to 7 minute speech. The contestants have to evaluate the target speaker's speech, and the judges will judge those contestants based on certain criteria. And who gets to win? They go from club level, area level, division level, and district level. The current district champion is Vijayalakshmi Soundararajan, and Sindhu. She was the second place, and I got the third place. So this is the session's objective, and I hope I cleared some base. This is only a brief about how an evaluation contest is conducted. This is the session's objective. We'll go first. What is the demand of the contest? The start of it is the ballot. The ballot here, it can clearly see there are 4 important criteria here. 1, the analytical quality. 2, it says clear recommendations. 2, it says recommendations. After that, it says technique. The 4th, it says summation. The marks that you see here is that for analytical quality, there is 40 marks. Recommendation, there is 30 marks. Technique, 15. Summation, 15. Now, if you were to start for evaluation contest, this is the starting point. Now, we will see one by one what is the analytical quality, recommendations, and everything. So, this is the judges' ballot. This is what the judges, they will get this. Those who decide your future in the contest, they will get this. Now, here I've marked some things here. Now, for example, analytical quality. It says where the evaluator's comments clear and logical. 2 things, whether they were clear and logical. Specific strengths and weaknesses. 3 important keywords that we were to take from here is clear, logical, specific. Now, I would like you to remember this word specific. Let's keep that in mind. Recommendations. Now, in that recommendations, again, there is this word called specific. Specific recommendations, practical, helpful, positive. And again, it goes on to say the recommendations should enable the speaker to improve his or her presentation. The technique. Now, what does it say? Technique, whether you are sensitive to the feelings of the speaker and you are motivational enough. Now, I don't like this particular word which is given here. This is sympathetic. It shows sympathetic. In the 3rd row, if you see technique, it says sympathetic, sensitive, motivational. I don't personally like the word sympathetic. Now, we'll take that out. We'll be sensitive and motivational. How we are going to inspire and encourage the speaker to achieve more, to challenge himself or herself. Again, the summation, if you don't do summation, you lose the contest. Simple. So summation here, how the evaluator concludes and how it is on a high note, encouraging and positive. So this is the start of it. The demand of the contest. This is what the judges expect from you. Now, who are these judges that we are talking about? Every contest will have certain amount of contestants, and they will be judged by someone who will not be known to you. For example, DTM Thomas, his name is J4 today. J4 means he's one of the judges in some other place. So he will not be known to you. The judge will not be known to you, but they will use this particular ballot to gauge your performance in the evaluation. Again, the second thing, time allocation. Now, time allocation in that sense, in a contest, you have 3 minutes, 30 seconds. In 3 minutes, 30, in every evaluation, that's what we have. Now, you deliver a wonderful evaluation speech, but then you are disqualified by time. We don't want that. So the first thing that I did, this was introduction part of it. I generally give 30 seconds for the introduction part of it. Summation, I give 30 seconds again. The evaluation part of it, the crux of your speech is where you deliver the strengths and the recommendations of it. Strengths, it depends on how many strengths that you have, whether you take 1 minute or 1.5 minutes. It depends on how many recommendations that you have, it takes 1 minute or 1.5 minutes. But I would suggest on a general basis, 3 plus 2 would do well. In my district contest, I deliver 3 plus 1. So I took some more time for recommendations. The reason why I took some more time for recommendation, despite it being only 1, is because I concentrated more on the improvement aspect of it. So if you divide your speech this way, introduction 30 seconds, evaluation where you give strengths and recommendation, that goes about for 2 minutes, and then summation 30 seconds, you will have good amount of buffer time to manage. Now, we'll go to the second one. This is how we divide the parts of it. As we have seen, introduction, there is evaluation, there is summation. We'll divide these two, divide this part and see what is present in these parts. First of all, introduction. How do you start? The 30 seconds, how do you start? Can I get some answers from people? 30 seconds, how do we start? I know I've talked for about 5 minutes. Can I get some participation here? What do we do for those 30 seconds?
No, first,
yes, go ahead, Venkat.
no, first 30 seconds, what I used to do it in the contest and all. Dear Toastmaster and guest, please appreciate the target speaker. He delivered a wonderful speech. Like once, some 20 seconds or 30 seconds, I used to waste my time because I think about the content of the speech.
Okay.
Talking about the stage, not online, offline meeting.
Okay.
On the stage, I used to take 20 seconds like that.
Okay. Atisha was also saying something.
Yeah, I like to summarize the general point of the speech saying something like, today, XYZ speaker took us through a journey from A to B, or talked about XYZ. Like, just pick on the core theme of his speech and then take that as an introduction, then later connect it to strengths and recommendations.
Very good. Venkat, I also take your point, Atisha's point. Does anyone else have any other points? Okay. So this is how I started off the speech. Now, generally, I give out some quote. Now, to me, I read Aristotle, Socrates, and all of this. It is natural to me to come up with these 4 people or 5 people quotes. So I make a note of some quotes. Only if it's genuine. You cannot force fit a quote into saying I force fit it and then I started off with a quote. So genuine quotes. Now, let's say there was one speech about storytelling in club. I was evaluating that speech. I started out saying excellent stories happen to those who have the ability to say them. Now, this fit well for that particular project because it was a storytelling project. Excellent stories happen to those who have the ability to tell them. This is very simple. You can easily grab the attention. So quotes which are genuine, which have a good gelling with the content of the speech. And for that, you need some spontaneity on stage. Or when you are preparing for the speech, you make a list of quotes which can be used in your speech. That's point number 1. The second here, as Atisha said, take the reference from the speech itself. You could take the reference from the speech. If there was a speech about golfing, you could take a reference from golfing and start your speech. 3, this is very important to me. I personally always do this, the impact of the speech. Now, what the speech made me feel. I will start off with it. I will start off with a quote and then have this impact of the speech. What it made me feel. And then salutations. Go on. What made me feel? Again, this should be genuine. You're gonna say, "What a wonderful speech! I took so much of comfort in your speech." Now you can't be exaggerated. It has to be genuine. And then the 4th thing, salutations. Move on to the body of the speech. Now this is where the evaluation part of it comes in. The crux of it, where you have to put your mind. These are conventional things. As you say, your stage usage was wonderful. Vocal variety was good. Body language was appropriate. Eye contact, personal story, confident or blurred. These are conventional things. People do say it. There is nothing wrong in saying it. But can we go beyond this? Can we go beyond the small variety, vocal variety, body language and all of that? We'll go beyond what we can do. Now, this is what I've learned over my 5 years of experience in Toastmasters, is that how can you be analytical? How can you put a speech into such rigorous analysis and come up with something beautiful? Here, victim or witness. First thing, what is the speaker? In the district evaluation contest, the speaker moved from "you are a winner" to "I am a winner." You are a winner to "I am a winner," which means she moved from being a victim and witness. So she was 2 types of characters in the same speech. And I was able to pick that. And I said, this transformation that you had from being a victim and a witness was wonderful. So first thing. The second thing, this was my area of recommendations. Again, conflict resolving. So every story will have a conflict and you have to resolve that conflict. Now, if you have seen the Master movie, the villain was much more powerful than the hero. Much more powerful. I didn't like the hero, that's different, but much more powerful than the villain was much more powerful. When they hit his hand, now there is the scene where the hero hits the hand of the villain. So that's the sucker punch that they do. When there is huge conflict, you resolve that conflict. Now, how do you resolve that conflict? You can look into that, going to the speaker's mind and analyze the thought process. Now, why did they come up with this particular story? How vulnerable they are in front of you. How close, convinced they are in front of you. Authentic, sincere. Now, how the story is the loop is being closed or not. Logic and emotion you can bring in. Whether if it's relatable to you. For example, a speech about in the district evaluation contest, the speech was about a mother. It is relatable to everyone. My mother was sitting inside our bedroom and listening to me speak. I was like, I felt this was relatable to me, and it was also memorable as well. Now, again, few more. Now, here you can see whether the speech was meant for heterogeneous group of audience or homogeneous group of audience. Now, for example, a speech on happy marriage would not be a homogeneous group of audience. Would not be for a homogeneous group of audience. It will be because marriage is not happy for everyone. Again, the second thing is a call to action. The call to action, whether they have a call to action at the end of their speech. Can you accomplish this, Toastmasters? It's like Inkalabad, Zindabad. So can you do that? That's the call to action. Whether if it's implementable by you as the audience, how visually pleasing and auditory. For example, whenever Raghu, our immediate past president, speaks, now it's like Yoga Guru cuddling your ears. Like Yoga Guru comes in. It's auditorily pleasing to you. So you can notice that. Whenever somebody is visually pleasing, you can notice that. Again, the time allocated to each part, the impact of the conclusion, all of that, it is there. Now, one thing that I want to mention here, every contest speech is either persuasive or inspirational. There are humorous speech, informative speech too. But what I would like you to go through is the CC9 and CC10 manual. The CC9 manual in the previous Toastmasters education program talks about persuade with power. CC10 talks about inspire your audience. Go through that manual. This is that manual. You can see this is the old manual that there is. There are about 10 speech projects in that. Go through CC9 and CC10 manual if at all is possible for you. You can get a lot of material from these two speeches. Now, before going into the next part of it, I would like to throw the floor open to questions. We'll have 2 questions now. Does anyone have a question on whatever we have talked up until now? Okay, so we'll move on quickly. What do we do about conventional things? What do we do about in the district contest? I mentioned the conventional things too. Or you had body language, you had to use the screen stage, you had vocal variety, all of that. But I mentioned them quickly. I mentioned them Beyond this, I see 3 important pillars in your speech. Beyond this, of course, you have to be genuine to say whether there was vocal variety or not. You can. Now you can mention them quickly and then move on. Now, what if you want to mention them as your main point? Vocal variety. What can you look in vocal variety? You can look for the rate of the speech. You can look for volume, the pitch, the timbre, tone, whether the body language is appropriate. If the speaker was going on like this on stage, it's not appropriate body language. It's not appropriate body language. You could mention that. You could mention that without being harsh. You could say, at some points, your body language was inappropriate. You could control that. In the areas of improvement, you could mention that. And then picking up on a pause. Now, in the district contest, the speaker, she came closer. She came closer, and my head is blocking, but she came closer to the screen and then said, my mother and I went in business class, but then she came back in cargo. And then she went back. I mentioned that you got me there, Sita. You got me there. Because they went in business class and they came back, and her mother came back in cargo, which means her mother passed away. I lost myself there. I mentioned that in the speech, which was the pause that was like, pick a pause. Mention that pause in the right scenario, how they used it. Now, questions whether they are rightly placed or not. Stage moment, again, in online, I don't personally see how much we can use stage, but then the stage moment is not that much, it's not mandatory to use stage moment. In my personal understanding, I have not used stage moment much. So this is about the conventional ways, conventional things that we can mention in the evaluation when we are doing. Summation, again, it is highly imperative that we mention summation. You quickly recap whatever that you have said. You have 15 to 30 seconds. 15 to 30 seconds, you quickly recap whatever you have said, end on a high positive note. End on a high positive note, emotional, fine, it's okay. So in the district contest, the speaker talked about her mother. And I ended on in a note by saying that my mother is sitting in the room and listening to me. Whether I win or not, I don't care, because I have my mother and your mother to tell me that I'm a winner. I ended it there. So which means you are ending it on a high and positive, optimistic note so that the speaker also feels good. So this is with respect to the summation part of it. Again, we have talked about the introduction, the structure of a contest, what are the demands of the contest, the structure of the contest. And from the structure of the contest, we went into the parts, content of each part. And then now we come into the do's and don'ts. Now here, I personally feel being truthful takes you long. It propels you long. So one of the reasons that I personally feel was that I went to district was I was truthful. So I take it as a badge of honor. So that's one thing that I see. Of course, there was some part of sugarcoating also that is there in contest because you have to win. And second thing is that say how you felt. So how you felt. That's what matters, no? We don't want how the audience must have felt is so good. We don't want that. We want how you felt, how you as an evaluator felt. Personalize it. Now, personalize in the sense I changed my way of doing in the club contest. In club, I used to make target speaker. I addressed the speaker as target speaker. But in area level, I said, okay, let's not do it. Let's say dear. Dear first name. Dear friend Vishal. My dear friend Prema. My dear friend Sita. And when the next time that I'm going to use their name, I use the first name. I did not use target speaker. There's a test speaker, target speaker. Why do we impersonalize? Personalize. Use their first name. Use dear friend Sita. Now, which personalizes your, it makes a connect, not only with you and the speaker, but with the audience as well. The fourth thing is about talk about that day's speech, which means let's not have any prejudices about how the speaker must have performed. Most of the time, the target speaker or the test speaker who comes in, we wouldn't know that particular speaker personally. But there are times if we know it, we will be prejudiced how the speaker spoke. The speaker spoke like that in another club. On that day, how the speaker speaks and that particular speech. And then the fourth thing is that do it and don't just say it. Again, this is where when you are giving area of recommendation, you say, you could have paused here. How could you have paused? How could she have taken? How could she have dramatized the conflict and resolution? You show it. You show how could you have done. Now here you could have paused. You could have taken a step back and then said, this pause you could enact it there. So that's and killing the cliche. Now this is very important because most of the time we say eye contact, body movements, which we have already talked about. Going on, talk about specifics in it. Make it specific. If you are going to talk about eye contact, body movement, at that point, if you had eye contact with me, I would have felt really nice. With me as in the audience. Instead of looking at the floor or at the top, at that point, when you're talking about your mother, when you look right down into my spine, I would have felt so nice. That is specific when you're mentioning about eye contact. Again, the final thing is very important in a contest when you say, use in my analysis, my recommendations to summarize, because that is what the judges are looking for. When you say, in my analysis, I find 3 important strengths in your speech. My recommendations are this, Sita. To summarize, this is what I found in your speech. Now, always have this as a trigger points in your speech. Now, what it does is that it enacts the brain of the judges and they say, this guy knows something. So these are the do's that I personally feel. Do you guys have any questions? Can we move forward from this? I know I'm rushing because there's a lot to cover.
Not a question, Jagan, but yeah, just a request. Could you please share this PPT in the group? Like I
Yes,
think it has
I'll do.
really good pointers. Thank you.
I'll do.
I have just one point. See,
yes, Sampath,
it's
go
a
ahead.
very good idea to say, let me recapitulate, let me summarize, in summary, or some such a clear indication in the end, so that the judges make a note that you are summarizing, because there are separate marks for that. That is the easiest mark you can get in an evaluation. Don't miss it.
Yes, as we have seen in the first ballot, here it says summation. It says summation. You have to say it to summarize, because they will be looking for that. When you say to summarize, they will know, as DTM Sampath said, they will know that you are summarizing. So they will go to this particular row and they will mark it, give how much of marks that you deserve for that. So this is do's. Now briefly, there are 4 things don'ts. Again, when we say sugar coating and whitewash, the speech may not have had the wow movement. The speech may have been normal. When you say this was a world-class speech, that is straightforward whitewashing. We don't need that, because the judges would know that you are disingenuous. The judges are wise people. They know if you are using flattery or sugarcoating, they would know. It's very clear that they would know. And then the second thing is that contradicting your strengths and the strengths and weaknesses. One time you say the strengths, you're wonderful eye contact. And then you recommendation, you say, no, you could have looked into us when you're saying this. So when you're contradicting your strengths and recommendations, which means your analysis is not good. The first column that we saw, analytical quality, you will not get marks in that at all. The third thing, which I have been a criminal there, repeating the points. So I would repeat again and again whatever that I said. So this was one of the reasons which was pointed out to me. This is not going to bring you. This is not going to take you anywhere. You are just wasting time. So having a clear cut in your rough draft, in your draft that you would have, the paper that you have, when you have written all of this. But when at the end of the day, you will have to write 5 points, 3 areas of recommendation, 3 strengths and 2 areas of recommendations. Make sure all of them are unique and distinct. Don't repeat points. And then the final thing, worrying about co-contestants. See, in the district contest, before I entered the district contest, I saw the number of participants. I was worried because it had people like Raghav and Sridhar, Subhadeep, Bali, Viji, Sindhu, and I was there for the first time. And I was afraid. So, but one thing that I realized, whatever it is, I have belief in my preparation. I have belief in myself. I also even painted this particular wall for so I said I will go the extra mile. Whether Subhadeep does the external evaluation, this wall will save me. It indeed saved me, actually. So I knew, as Sundaresan always would say, count your blessings. Said you count your blessings. Whatever that you have, you will go ahead with that. Don't worry about contestants. Now this is the do's, the don'ts. Do's and don'ts we have seen. Practice. Coming to practice. Club is your playground. Now I contested for the last time in 2017. I did not go through the area level. Later, I contested only in 2020. And in 2020, the reason why I was able to get to the district level was because of Medley. Because of the varied speeches that I evaluated in Medley, I was able to gain that experience and look at the patterns. What kind of speeches that people would deliver. So club is your playground. Take notes in every meeting. Evaluate the evaluators. Evaluate the general evaluator. Evaluate the accountant. Evaluate the grammarian. I remember every time I would have like clockwork after every meeting, I would call my mentor, DTM Thomas, and I would challenge him. Sir, how do you say that my point is not right? How do you say that this is wrong? Now, sir, the evaluator could have done better. The accountant could have done better. Oh, the Toastmaster of the day, wonderfully he did the job. So I would challenge my mentor and reason my own judgments. How well I did. I will connect with him in that way. So like clockwork after every meeting. So this actually increased the ability to see patterns. How people do, how people perform when they are put under pressure. All of that was very useful to me. And evaluate not only speeches. Now, this is what I had received as a feedback from many people. They said, you go outside, there's a dog barking. You evaluate how the dog is barking. You go to a temple or a church or a mosque, you gain some experience. You evaluate how that experience was. You evaluate everything in your life. The sambar that you cook, the sambar that your mother cooks. What is the difference between them? So I've done the habits, like I've had many insights in how I cook and how I shouldn't cook at all. So because of that analysis. So the final thing is that time your speeches, again, 1 minute, 2 minutes, and another 30 seconds introduction, 2 minutes of your analysis and 30-second summation. So overall, this is what you have to practice. Again, quickly, I'll tell you, going the extra mile, again, you have to look at the competitor's mind. Now, when you have 8 contestants, among them is you, and fortunately you are the first contestant. You have the privilege of listening to all the 7. Make notes of what they had written or what they had, but you didn't. This will help you in bettering your analysis form. What they had, but you didn't. And this actually helped me when I evaluated Priya's evaluation in club contest. I understood something very important: what she had and what I did not have, and that actually helped me. Setting high standards again, when I connected with my mentor for the district contest, he said, Jagan, these are the people that you want to get to. He said, Viji, Shamraj, and a lot of these stalwarts in the district. He said, this is what is. Sorry. Just a moment. Am I audible?
Hope I'm audible now. Thank you. So here, again, setting high standards. He said, you have to, these are the people that you have to get to, Jagan. This is where you're lagging. As in, Jagan, although you are aged, but the fact is you look like a young boy. So the people may think that you are coming from college and dishing out something. We don't want that. There needs to be an aura of intellect. Then you need to exude this confidence. So for that, I set this high standard. These are the people that I want to compete with. And I practice. Now, for the fact that this particular wall is also for that. I'll show the next PPT, next slide. So again, aesthetic. Now, I understand from till December, till division contest will be online. So I don't know whether we can congregate so much. So we will be online. So we have to invest in how our background looks, how we look, how clear our facial expressions are, whether our voice is clear enough. It is important for all the 8 or 14 contestants who are participating. This is important because the fact is, I'll show you the next slide here. So this was the wall. Previously, this is how the wall looked. How clumsy that it could. So I started painting the wall 2 days before, 1 week before the contest. So and then I started painting. This was the end point of it. And if you can see my other iPad one, where my picture is there, that is the end of it. So this is a kind of LinkedIn kind of picture where a professional photographer is taken. No, this is I took in my mother's cell phone in this particular wall. This is how it looked like. So the point is going the extra mile to find. Now I wish I had done this in club contest as well. Don't take the club contest lightly. Do it in the club contest itself. Start doing it then. Have a mic, a good mic, which gives you clarity of voice. And then you can just clarity of voice. And then you can start having this default background, which will help you. So that's there. And this particular picture, again, this is Freddie Mercury. For people who don't know, this is Freddie Mercury. And this is a song. He's in half shots and he's just, it's an art. He's exploring his art. Nobody is around him. He thinks nobody is around him. He's just shameless, singing to the crowd. Be shameless. I was shameless and I was able to get to at least second position. So it's like, this is the song called We Are the Champions by the band Queen. So I hope all of us here are champions. We have the ability to win this contest. Every one of them. So yeah. Any questions?
Jagan, I have a question.
I'm sorry, just a moment. Yes, go ahead.
So many times they choose some very good, very experienced speakers as target speaker during contests. Particularly, is my voice clear to you? Are you audible? Am I audible to everyone?
Guru, I'm sorry, Guru.
Yes, you are audible.
Jagan, can you hear me now? Yeah. So in contests, as the level goes up, even I have seen target speakers also very fantastic. They are not just somebody attempting a public speech where you can identify and give recommendations. I myself have gone out of recommendations or any negative observation of the speeches at all. So that creates a lot of anxiety in me, saying that I'm missing the 2. I got all the 3s for my positive. I am missing the remaining 2. So how do we manage? How do we extract the recommendation 2 from a best speech by the target speaker?
Okay, so in this case, for the recommendations, what I had for the district speech was only 1. So I went on, it's like grinding the same floor again and again. So there is a possibility you could spend on the only 1 recommendation. If you have there is no recommendation at all, we always have the conventional stuff. There's a body language, but being specific in body language, because there will be some part where they did not have good body language. There will be some part where they could have had vocal variety, pause. So if we enact that, anyway there is humor. If they had humor, if you could have given some pause between and given time for the people to get the humor. So all of these are reading between the lines. So explicitly, we may not have areas of recommendations, but we have this template in our mind as to our body language, vocal variety, all of that. Some of them will come into rescue. So we can always patch up and then say, this is what, but make it so professional. So it's like fooling the judges, make it so professional, be it specific. And then you are hitting it. It's like, if you're saying Aristotle or Gandhi, it automatically becomes professional, right? Automatically becomes intellectual. So we need that maturity. Some part of it's not deception per se, but it is more of using what we have. I hope I answered that question. Yes, DTM Sampath, go ahead.
If there are no questions, I just want to add 2 points in very brief. One is repeating the content of the speaker is a common error. At least in the club, we are certainly seeing it in the lower level context also. So you can never repeat the contents or even a list. Just scan through what he talked. You talked about this, then you went on to this, like this. A lot of people do that. But where you can use the speaker's thing is the specific phrase or line which you want to cite to prove your point you are making in an evaluation. If you say your vocabulary was very good, you use 2-3 examples from his speech as the good example. So this is first point. The second point is in recommendations. I have seen some people doing this. You should have added this. You should have included that, like this. I think recommendations should not talk about content inclusion, but you can talk about the style in the recommendation. You could have done this in this way. You could have given the vocal variety at this point. That is with respect to the style. But I know many people are saying that you could have talked about that, which they didn't talk about. I think that is not the right word. And the worst way of doing the same thing is, in your place, I would have done this, which is even worse than that. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Sampath. One point that I want to add on to it, when DTM Sampath used the word could instead of should, we need to be very careful here. Always use the word could. DTM Sampath changed it because when he was mentioning it starting, you should have done, I could. Now, could is very important rather than using should. Let's not use should at all. We could say could, because we are being empathetic to the speaker, sensitive. That's where it comes from, the technique part of it.
Jagan, I have a question.
Yes, Karan.
Jagan, you said in Medley is what helped you a playground. Of course, yes, for all the speakers, yes. I completely understand how. The thing is, at club level, we say you give a sandwich technique, don't be direct. And whereas in a contest, it is a very different thing. Can you just tell me in a nutshell what will be the difference, like how to look club evaluation, how to look contest evaluation?
Okay, in what I have done in club 2, I will start off with a quote and then go on to say impact and everything. But in club, the idea is the manual. So objective is I have to stick to. Only when I complete the objective of the speech, I will go beyond. In contest, again, what I said today was only my way of doing it. There are people who use acronyms. Acronyms. They say diet, they use biryani and all. That is also one way of doing it. There are some people who use what they heard, what they saw, what they felt. So which means I heard this, I saw, I felt. This is a template that they use. And there is another way of doing it, analogy. In club contest, they use the analogy of ship faring. When we go into the ship, just like how we go into the ship, the speaker also went into the voyage of his life. So analogy. These we cannot do it in club. So these kind of techniques, we cannot do it in club. So in the contest level, our idea is to win. So here is idea is to for the improvement of the speaker. So this is a basic difference. There are a lot of techniques to do in contest. What I discussed was only one of them.
Got it. Thanks, Jack.
Is there any other question? Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, when say we have 8 evaluators and 7 of them are waiting for their turn to speak, during that time, are they allowed to prepare? Like, are they allowed to write things down on a notepad or, prepare? Or is it necessary that they stay in front of the camera and not use anything?
Okay, what happens here is that, let's say there are 8 contestants. You are the first contestant. All the 8 contestants, irrespective of their nature, will have only 5 minutes to prepare, which happens after the speech is delivered and the first contestant starts. You will be given a particular paper. You will have to prepare on that. The particular paper will be taken away from you once the sergeant at arms takes you into a meeting room and a separate room. So you may rehearse it with yourself, but you will not have the notes with you. You can't see the notes. So to give a level playing field, the first speaker and the eighth speaker will only have 5 minutes to prepare with the notes in their hand. They may do it. The eighth speaker will definitely have the time to do it in their mind.
Right, got it.
Okay.
So in case of Zoom meetings, are they required to like
You will have
wait
to
in
place
front?
it. You will have to place the paper somewhere in your eyesight so that the sergeant at arms in the breakout room is able to see that you are not seeing that paper or touching that paper.
Okay, got it. Cool. Thanks.
So may I just for a second to Atishai's adding to your answer on Atishai's points. Atishai, I was once the last speaker in a division contest, but that didn't give me any advantage at all because I was more. I mean, being in conventional physical meetings, you are actually thrown out of the hall and all the papers are plucked out of your hand. All the 7 evaluators are watching each other face to face and everyone is tensed at each other. So I didn't feel that I had those extra 25 minutes to be more comfortable in delivering my no. I was totally anxious and tensed up because the contest happens in 3 minutes. You don't even have, you are more worried about who is going next, when will I my turn. Even before you start revising second time, already the 7th person has gone in. So it doesn't give a great advantage being the last person or first person. Your preparation is only those 5 minutes of preparation. That's from my personal experience.
Thank you, Guru. I understand, Kalyan. This is the 4th time that he is giving the red light. So I will give the stage back to the Toastmaster of the day, Venkat. Over to you.
Thank you, Jalan. Wonderful input. Definitely, I will apply the coming contest on September 25th. Dear Toastmasters, next session is the most interesting session. It's going to be conducted by Toastmaster Surya. He is a Toastmaster for the past 3 years from Medley. When I was talking about the theme of the day, never give up, he said immediately, I believe in never give up attitude because it was to stay without trying better, try and fail. Over to you, Toastmaster Surya. Stage is for yours. Toastmaster Surya?
Yeah. Thank you for the introduction, TMOD Toastmaster Venkatesan. Dear Toastmasters and guests, welcome for the trademark session of Toastmaster Table Topics. For the benefit of guests, I see some guests being added after the meeting started. For the benefit of guests, Toastmaster Table Topics is a session where a topic will be given to the speaker on the spot, and the speaker will be called upon on a random order, given the topic, and asked to deliver a speech. The speech time will be 1 to 2 minutes. For you to get as a speaker to qualify, 1 minute you have to speak, and 1.5 minutes, yellow light will be shown, red card will be shown at 2nd minute, and you will have 30 seconds to close your speech. So without any much of a delay, let's start off the session with some of our fellow Toastmasters. To begin with, I would like to call upon our new member, Toastmaster Om Kumar.
Hello, sir.
Toastmaster Om Kumar, your topic is looks do not reveal the quality of a person. Looks do not reveal the quality of person. Toastmaster Om Kumar.
Hello, Toastmasters and guests. So the looks do not reveal the quality of a person. Absolutely true. Until we interact with someone and talk to them and identify who they are and what they are, we cannot identify what their abilities are up to and what their qualities are up to just by looking at them. Because somebody looks so simple and naive, it doesn't mean that they don't know anything. So only after we talk to them and identify the depth of their knowledge and intelligence, we can evaluate who they are actually. So over to your table topics, Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Om Kumar. Moving on to the next topic, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Venkatesan. Toastmaster Venkatesan,
yeah.
would you like work from home?
Yeah.
Okay. Here is a topic for you. Before work from home, I had life. Before work from home, I had life. Toastmaster Venkatesation.
I'm in a very desperate situation since I had to speak against this. I do consider working from home, we mean it started from the COVID lockdown. But fortunately, it was from year 2018, 17, December 23rd, the day I returned from US. Since then, I'm working from home. So I was in a very desperate situation to go back to office. And it was in February 2020, finally, after 2.5 years, I decided that, yes, I would go to office from next week. That's when the lockdown was declared. Till then, I was feeling dejected, and I was thinking that I'm the only one person who is working from home, and everybody else is going to office. All my neighbors, they used to ask me. My wife goes to office. She's working in a bank, so she leaves at around 9 a.m., comes back at 8 p.m. So everybody used to think that, okay, this guy doesn't work, so he's a homemaker or he manages home. But unfortunately, I was working for a US customer, so my day started at 8 p.m. and it ended at 3 a.m. So that's when I was desperate to go to office. Then the lockdown came in. Everybody was working from home. And after that, when I started telling people that I work from home, nobody cared. They know that, okay, yeah, everybody works from home. He is also working from home. But one thing I would say, since I'm working from home for more than 1 year, my elder son is practicing yoga every day, which I taught him during the first lockdown. And my second son, I'm playing with him cricket every day, 30 minutes, which I could not have done if I had been going to office. So it is whether you're working from home or not, the life is at your hand. Never give up. Be patient and have perseverance. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Venkatesation. Next, we'll move on to Toastmaster Shankar Govindaraj.
Hi, Surya.
Hi, Shankar. Hope you like to have food. Too much of food. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Your topic is life is about food. Never let it get cold. Life is about food. Never let it get cold. Toastmaster Shankar.
Thank you, Surya. When you asked me about the food, I definitely thought the topic you are going to give, it's about the food. So since now you're talking about this, after a long point of time, around, let's say for 3 years of my time in the time. So we as a ex-colleague, as well as my college friends now, we are planning to go into Express Avenue to have a delicious lunch. And the people says that the Punjabi grill is the famous one in Express Avenue. And fortunately, one of my friend is working in Express Avenue. He ordered the food at a very minimum rate. And everyone now, I think the message also coming in the WhatsApp chat, there are 25 people we are gathering now, and everyone it is awaiting for the food and how about the food would be there. Because of this lockdown, I think many of us is not tasting any of the delicious and sumptuous lunch. I think the people are very eager to have that kind of the experience. And the food is not only about the delicious or sumptuous. Even if you go there and meet with the people, you will have a feeling and a bonding of the particular person, and you will start enjoying that occasions. And even today we have a very little time, around 2 to 3 years now itself. I started the counting at when at the 6 o'clock will come, and we will share our memories, what happened in the before 3 years, and what are the things we did so far, and what is our plan. So food is playing a very vital role in everyone's life. It's not only about the people go for the hotel. It is not only to take for the delicious or sumptuous. It's about enjoy the experience. So whenever the Punjabi comes, the Punjabi, so then I'm sure that even whoever comes on the day, around the 20 people, will think their mind that, oh, we discussed on the particular day about our life, what happened. That's what we are going to do that. Hopefully, this is a coincidence. Both of us, it's come. Surya, thank you so much for your topic. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shankar. Guests, be ready. Now I'd like to call upon guest Yogesh Kumar.
Hi, Toastmaster Surya. Good evening to you.
Hi. Good afternoon, guest Yogesh. Your topic. Explain an incident where you felt terrified inside and pretended to be cool outside. Explain an incident where you felt terrified within inside and pretended to be cool outside. Guest Yogesh.
All right. Thanks for this topic. So this, happens quite a few times at my home whenever we are doing our monthly cleaning. And every time we come across a lizard or a cockroach, I have to put up a brave front before my wife and kid to ensure, that they think her husband and father is one of the bravest people they know. But in eventuality, I've been having, the fear factor with respect to all the crawling creatures right from my childhood. And you brought in a very, good aspect here. I read somewhere that the way Napoleon was, tackled in the battle and he lost was when I think rats were let out in the open, and he was very fearful of the rats. So it kind of conceded in his defeat. And hence, once you mentioned about this topic, that point also just occurred to me. So it is in a way good that we don't let out our fears known to everybody. And it's better to act that, you are brave, even at the most toughest situation in your life, and face it with perseverance, as the topic was set by Toastmaster Guru, and take on all the challenges with a smile. And there is this famous Vadivelu joke that, you're very strong, but your basement is weak. So yeah. So that's the way it is. So life is, is full of all challenges. So let's face it with perseverance. Thanks for the time, Surya. Over to you.
That was so nice. Thank you so much, guest Yogesh. Next, I would like to call upon guest Dharan. Guest Dharan.
Hi, good evening, Toastmaster Surya.
Hi, Dharan. Your topic is, what would you say to yourself when you open your eyes in the morning? What would you say to yourself when you open your eyes in the morning? Guest Dharan.
Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and table topic masters. When I get up in the morning, I always say, as far as the heart beats out there are always opportunities. So we have to reach out ourselves. We have to work really hard, and we have to find our goal, and we have to reach. So we have to create our own opportunities, and for that, physical strength and mental strength are very, very important. So get up and then train your body, train your mind, and go and reach your goal. So that's what I say every day. As far as the heart beats out there are opportunities. Thank you. Over to you, Surya.
Thank you. Yes, Dharan. Now I would like to call upon DTM Thomas. Sir, are you there? Okay.
You're on mute, Thomas. Okay.
DTM Thomas.
Please move to the next person.
Yeah, I think he's not there.
He's not in the list.
Toastmaster Raghunath.
Yeah.
Toastmaster.
Yes, Surya.
Okay. We'll okay, there are a couple of Raghunaths. Let's go with Raghunath.
Which Raghunath are you talking? Is it Mishra?
Past President Raghunath.
No, then Raghu, I give the opportunity to pass the opportunity to you.
But I give you the opportunity to you, sir.
No, I
Wow, what a mutually supporting environment.
Exactly. That was down table topic. Good. Excellent.
Because of that name, Raghunath, whoever have the Raghunath, I think they are privileged to give it to others.
Okay, let's get on with the topic. So Toastmaster Raghunath, our past president, Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra, you will be the next.
There you go.
So Toastmaster Raghunath, without any intention, this topic goes to you. What is the best part of growing older? What is the best part of growing older? Toastmaster Raghunath.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master. It's a wonderful topic. Like the best part of growing older is you start appreciating your balance. That's something which you really need to. It saves a lot of time from the morning. It's something which you it changes. You don't need to search for a comb, or you don't need to search for and and the best part of it is that you can actually walk in the rain, because you don't need to worry too much about where to find a big handkerchief or anything, right? You just need to wipe it off, and then that's it. So that's the best thing which you can do when you get older, because you appreciate. And then when you grow older, your wife also start appreciating your baldness, because that is, she has no other choice. You'll have to appreciate that you're a bald, and that's something, the best part of growing older. Apart from that, of course, you start learning a lot, and that's something which makes it the life more beautiful. Growing older is something which I really value, and where you can actually give back to the society a lot, apart from appreciating the baldness which you have. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you for sharing your views, Raghu.
Yes, sir.
Raghunath Mishra, Raghu Bhai. Here is your topic. Success is a journey, not a destination. Success is a journey, not a destination. Toastmaster Raghu Bhai.
Thank you, Toastmaster Surya, and good afternoon, all Toastmasters. Welcome, guests. Success is a journey and not a destination. A destination comes when you set a target like, this is what I want to achieve. And to reach that destination, there could be many steps which you need to pass through. And those are the successful steps, the stepping stones to reach that destination. So these stepping stones are not limited to any particular destination. It keeps on changing whenever there is a change in that destination. So that's where I feel success is a journey and not a destination. Today, I completed 53 years of my life. And very few people would be celebrating 3 times of their birthday in every year. I'm one of those guys. My first birthday is the date which has been registered in my certificate. The second birthday is as per the horoscope.
and the third birthday is the actual date of my birth. And I came to know when I successfully achieved 22 years of my life. Okay, until that time, I was knowing that birthday is as per horoscope because that is the day when my mother used to pray for me. Okay, and all these years, what I understood is that success, each and every step, every year where I feel like I have achieved something, and that motivated me to reach till date, that is the 53 years. And I feel it is the success of my life, and I still continuing. And my destination, I don't know, I have not set it correctly where I would reach and all, but whatever I do, I want to be a honest, simple human being. Over to you, Toastmaster Surya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ragbai. Next, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Saravanan. Hope you are there.
Yeah, Toastmaster Surya, I'm here.
Toastmaster Saravanan. Life's finest treasure lives in its simplest moment. Life's finest treasure lives in its simplest moment. Toastmaster Saravanan.
The moments where we spend our time with family, the way we have to appreciate our family members, that is the true treasure. Every morning, just get up and give a smile to your family members. That itself is the biggest treasure that they can get. It's not the money that matters. It's not anything else that matters. It's just being empathetic and being curious and asking the right thing. Just ask your wife, don't ask okay, when I can get my coffee. Just ask her okay, do you need coffee? You will get your coffee eventually, but that is a different thing. But at least get that, at least say that, you will get that. And when you talk to your wards, just don't talk about academics, because everybody talks about academics, right? And we have to see our 10th and 12th mark, and then we have to talk about that to our children, right? But what is more needed is, there is a lot of pressure in this world. You see, everywhere there is pressure. There is rat race. There is comparison. So there are simple things which we can do. Smile, ask, talk, dine, all these things do with your family. That is more important. What you showcase, right? Everybody have different masks in their life. Please don't put any mask, because we are not running any race. Okay. So the previous topic was more about success, destination, and all those stuff. Why we should have some destination? I want to enjoy life. I want to enjoy each and every moment of my life. I want to savor that, so that my family, my relatives, my friends all become happy about that. What is more important is three things. First, just be empathetic and ask the right questions, and always think about others and put yourself in their shoes. Second, be very truthful. Third is be simplistic. Don't compare yourself with anybody else or any materialistic matters at all. Just follow these three principles, and you will do good, and your family will do good, everybody will do good. This is what is more important. Don't think about any pressure and all. Just be simple. Over to the table.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saravanan. Now I'd like to call upon guest Nedu, NEDU. I believe your name.
Hi, Toastmaster. This is my first time in this meeting, and my camera is not working, so I have to apologize for that.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Yes, sir, I'm ready for the topic. Yes, sir.
I'm audible.
Yes, sir, I'm ready for the topic. Yes, sir, you can.
Your topic. Life is not something that happens according to a planned agenda. Life is not something that happens according to a planned agenda.
Yes, sir, I want to start this with Margaret Thatcher. So when you plan to fail, you fail to plan. Hi. Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
So I want to start by saying a Margaret Thatcher quote: "If you plan to fail, you fail to plan." I always thought planning gives you a focus and a direction for life. But after many failures and many lessons, I'm trying to understand the nuances of life and how it affects me and how my plan is accordingly changed. So the circumstances which we encounter are affected by many changes which is happening around us. So we may have a plan, our destination, or goal, but being open-minded helps us to grow. I'm just fumbling. So like this speech, like this is my first meeting, so like this speech I didn't even plan for the topic, and this is happening to me without any plan, and this is exposing many of my weaknesses, and these weaknesses are helping me to correct myself. Maybe next time when I come around, I'll understand it. This is actually a problem when you don't plan. So but when we are open-minded and we are present at the moment, the lessons we learn is much more, and it helps us in a future planning as well. So I'm equivocating both the states because people who have achieved greater things in life have a very planned life, but at the same time not being open or mindful at the moment as and being empathetic and understanding what people around you may not get you much further as well. So it must be a balance. Life must be a balance, I guess. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do we have time for one more speaker? Okay, so let's wind up. Hope you have all enjoyed. Thank you so much. I'll hand over the stage to TM Modi.
TD Master, can you check the timing and let me start the poll once you declare the eligible speakers?
Timer?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Timer
qualified.
Qualified speakers and the poll.
Yeah, the qualified speakers are Venkataseshan, Toastmaster Shankar, guest Yogesh Kumar, guest Dharan, Toastmaster Raghunath Shi, Toastmaster Raghunath Misra, Toastmaster Saravana.
Zoom master polling, please.
I'll open the poll. Give me 1 minute. I'm opening the poll. Yeah. Please vote for the best table topics.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, DTM Guru. The next is
they're done.
Toastmaster Dinagaran.
Yeah, Team Modi.
Yeah, you can start. The ICC was.
Yeah. Thank you, Team Modi. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. We had an existing session of this table topics. We are moving on to another exciting session, which is actually a very important session, which is about the evaluation of the entire proceeding for the day. So we will start with the prepared speeches evaluation. To evaluate the speech given by Toastmaster Uday, we have Toastmaster Aishwarya. Toastmaster Aishwarya is from Tuticorin, and then she completed her BE degree from Tyagaraja Engineering College in 2020 and joined one of the IT company. And she is being a project support developer. And her view on the theme is that failure may come and go. We should learn from the mistakes. We should never give up. Over to Toastmaster Aishwarya for the evaluation session.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Today we had Uday who delivered his icebreaker. So the purpose, as we all know, is to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Now, how did he do it? So first thing, as an evaluator, I have to look for the structure of the speech. So his speech had a logical sequence to events that took place in his life. Like he covered all the main things of his life, like childhood, family, education, career, achievements, aspirations. So he followed an IBC structure: introduction, body, and conclusion. So if you could remember, he started his speech with his mentor's words. Like as per his mentor's words, he delivered his speech courageously with a smiling face throughout his speech delivery. And the speech entirely, what I liked is starting from scripting to mentoring to practicing to delivering, all of them were in sync with each other. And also we can clearly see how smoothly he delivered his speech. And also he had some vocal variety and hand gestures. Of course, he excelled at using tone, speed, and volume. So my recommendations will be, as the manual suggests, he could have included why he chose this path: innovative planning. And also if he could add some more facial expressions in his speech delivery, that will be super awesome. Overall, the structure of the speech was excellent. He excelled at vocal variety and gestures. His speech is well scripted, patiently practiced, and delivered. If he could have, like I said, if he could have spelled why he chose this particular path, that will be perfect. All the very best, Uday. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aishwarya. You have covered all the aspects for the speech. Thank you so much. Now we have Toastmaster Periyasamy, who would be evaluating the speech given by Toastmaster Sundaresan. Toastmaster Periyasamy is working as a head of manufacturing one of the garment company. His view on the theme is that we all should learn the never give up attitude from children. Like children, like they start crawling and then they fall down. They don't care about what others feel or what others say. They, like children start like sitting and then they start walking and running. So we should have that children attitude to have this never give up attitude in the life. Like over to Toastmaster Periyasamy to evaluate Toastmaster Sundaran's speech.
Thank you for the warm welcome, General Evaluator. Hope I am audible and clear. Yeah, very good evening once again to all the Toastmaster and guests. Today, my target speaker, Toastmaster Sundaresan, has delivered a brilliant speech on going on extra mile for the sake of others. Let's give a round of applause for his brilliant speech. The purpose of the project is for the members to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply feedback to a second speech. From the positive side, you have excelled in your spoken language, vocal variety, tone was very good. Your eye contact, even your physical gestures was better. It was a very well structured and clear content speech. You appears very comfortable, you are enthusiastic, and even your smile is attracting. Whatever the feedback given in the first speech, I would say you have appropriately applied. For example, the feedback was given in the first speech was the content should be in the chronological order, like from your school days, how your friend went an extra mile to grow more plants by providing the back of seats to your school headmaster. Even in your college days, how a lady is giving the food to the laborers for charity without expectations. Even in your official life in Qatar, how our own people went an extra mile for the sake of their family and children. Even you shared about our medley, how our role players supporting our speakers to go an extra mile. Importantly, you shared your own personal experience through your never give up attitude, how you taught Hindi, one of your friends, through postal card in those days in 1980s, through postal card in crisis situation. So because of you, he stayed there and he excelled there. And also you utilized your time very well compared to the last speech, sir. Though so much of positive, a very little improvement as an evaluator I felt. In your mobile phone camera, I couldn't see your full view in the portrait form, maybe due to the technical issues. The second thing I felt as an evaluator, to engage the audience, you might have asked these questions. It's like, what is their opinion about, what is their opinion or thought about, do we need to go an extra mile for the sake of others? Overall, it was a brilliant speech, Sundaresan sir. I appreciate your perseverance and never give up attitude. Personally, I got motivated and inspired to go an extra mile for the sake of my family, friends, motivators, supporters, and neighbors. I hope others too. We loved your speech. I'm looking forward to your next speech. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you for bringing out all the improvement that has been brought out by the previous speech and the current speech. Thank you. Next, we have DTM Sugandhi to evaluate DTM Sambatsar's speech. DTM Sugandhi is working for TCS. She's a veteran in TCS, and she also has many patents under her name. DTM Sugandhi is another example for this never give up attitude. I am sure that that is the one that would have helped her to scale different heights in her career and also in the Toastmaster journey. Over to DTM Sugandhi to evaluate DTM Sambatsar's speech.
Thank you, G. Dinakaran, for your kind words of introduction. Good evening, Toastmasters. DTM Sambatsar, Joyce, Jaunty, Jalapi. To me, your speech today was a very pleasant speech which left me with a lot of smiles and with laughter at times. I also loved the way how you brought out to meet your project objectives of including humorous stories and not keeping them in silos, but beautifully weaving the first story into the second story. The third thing, I also loved the way that you built the characters in all the three portions, or in all the three stories of your speech, be it the potential bridegroom or your friend Joy or yourself as a character in your last portion of the speech. And the last thing, of course, is I also admire your play of words which made me laugh. It could be public transport was weak, petrol was cheap, I was carless. He was careless, which made me carless. So these beautiful play of words without having sentences immediately caught my attention, and I was in fact laughing. Now this is a project that I've also been a bit of struggling to do, because like you, my path is also engaging with humor. And here where I felt the speech could have been a little more impactful was the first thing. You started with a preface saying, I don't know how many of you know about Joyce, Jaunty, Jalapi, a movie that came in 1960s. I felt you somehow cut your audience there. I was like wondering, okay, what if I don't know about the movie? Will the rest of the speech, will it not connect to me? Will I not be able to understand it because I have no clue about this particular speech? I felt that it would be better if you had just gone on with your speech rather than throwing in a word of caution in the beginning. The second recommendation is employment of pauses. While you had very effectively engaged pauses in the first story of having a phone call regarding the marriage proposal, I somehow felt that as you moved into your speech, there was a little bit of hurry, probably in areas where you had your chat with the mechanic. You know, I was clever. I started rubbishing the Pakistanis. You could have built in a little more suspense and a pause. I was clever. You know what I did. And then, while we were guessing what you did, then you can move on. Say, I rubbished Pakistanis. We would have all definitely smiled. Or when you were about to sell your second-hand car, you know where I went? Of course, to Joy, the sales expert. Somewhere where that pause could have also made us pause as we were thinking, so that we could have got your jokes a little more effectively is my two areas of recommendation. To sum it up, it was a pleasant speech with a beautiful characterization built up in a very simple and effective manner. Beautiful weaving of one story into another. If you could help us not by throwing a word of caution and continue to have effective employment of pauses all throughout your speech, I'm sure you will help us with more and more bountiful of laughter in the days to come. Thank you very much, and over to our general evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Sugandhi. Thank you all the evaluators for bringing out all the improvement areas and also the positive aspects of all the speeches given by the speakers. Timer, could you call out the qualified evaluators?
All the three evaluators are qualified. I'll just
Master, can you post the poll?
Toastmaster Aishwarya, Toastmaster Peresami, Distinguished Toastmaster Sugandhi. All three are qualified.
Yeah, I'll be launching the poll now.
Thank you, Guru.
Yeah, thank you, Timer. Dear Toastmasters, we will move on to the next session for the evaluation. We will start with the tag report for today. So the timer, could you help with the timer's report for today?
Yeah, one second. I'm just sharing my screen. Hello again. I have just timed everybody's time, and the very beginning I told what are all the starting time and ending time. And overall, this is the time taken. The role-wise Surgeon at Arms, Kalyan took 1 minute and 45 seconds. The presiding officer, I've also qualified to put in a new column, something like could have taken. Reason being, somehow I feel the stage time which we get at Toastmasters is what makes us what we are as a public speaker, as a communicator, or as a leader. So maybe at maximum time, if we can just use the stage time, it's something like a full paisa vasool comes in, gets us to a very different place. So I've just added what could have been done. I'm not saying, look, you should have spoken this way. Idea is to qualify for a vote and then you speak. Maybe you can just have this in mind. For an example, a table topic master would have a table topic speaker spoke only for 1 minute 20 seconds. Can feel, hey, look, I lost 1 more minute today as my stage time. So I was just putting what could have used time for every speaker. So the presiding officer, Toastmaster Ranga, spoke for 1 minute and 10 seconds. And Toastmaster of the day, Venkatesan, in his introduction speech, there was a maximum time allotted was 4 minutes 50 seconds. He spoke 3 minutes and 45 seconds, and his average time taken was 40 minutes 45 seconds. So overall, his speech time, he has got some more speech slots. I think the stage time for Venkatesan today would have been 10 minutes. Topic master in the same way, his introduction was 45, and then he took almost 40 seconds for every speech slot. So his stage time is somewhere around 5 to 6 minutes today. General evaluator, again, initial slot when he explained about the tag role, he took 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And then today, as of now, his stage time goes to 9 minutes. The education speaker, Jagan, was bang on time. 29 minutes was the speech allotted to him. He exactly finished at 28 minutes and 45 seconds. And the question answer took 7 minutes and 78 seconds. Prepared speeches, Toastmaster Uday. I'm just taking this as a maximum time, though the qualifying time is only 5 minutes, and then 5:30, you can just go up, stretch your speech up to 5:30. So I'm just saying the maximum time can be utilized as a stage time is 5:30, and then in which Toastmaster Uday took 5 minutes and 27 seconds. And Toastmaster Sundaresan took 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Personally, though he is qualified for the speech, he would have used 1 minute and 28 seconds as stage time. Distinguished Toastmaster Sampath Saurirajan, 7 minutes and 30 seconds as the maximum time he can have it on stage, and 6:50 was the time taken. The same way, evaluator Toastmaster Aishwarya, 3 minutes her qualifying time, and then 2 minutes 28 seconds, 38 seconds the time taken. 3:30, if you calculate, you had 52 seconds as a time for a stage time she lost today. Toastmaster Peresami in the same way, 3 minutes 11 seconds, and Distinguished Toastmaster Sugandhi, 2 minutes 59 seconds. Table topic speakers, Toastmaster Om Kumar. This I need not have to explain this maximum time and could have time taken. The respective speakers can just make a note of that. Let me not waste everybody's time and then speak what would you be in your could have speak time. Toastmaster Om Kumar, you took 35 seconds. Toastmaster Venkatesan, you took 1 minute 55 seconds. Toastmaster Shankar, you took 2 minutes 7 seconds. Guest Yogesh Kumar, you took 1 minute 53 seconds. Guest Taran, you took 37 seconds. Toastmaster Raghunath C, 1 minute 14 seconds. Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra, you spoke for 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Toastmaster Saravanan, you spoke for 2 minutes 22 seconds. And then Guest Nedu, you spoke for 2 minutes 51 seconds. And the R counter, the initial introduction, Toastmaster Lakshmi took 45 seconds, and the grammarian took 2 minutes and 15 seconds. I will mark their closing remarks at the end. Thank you, everybody, and over to the general evaluator of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalyan. It was actually a nice, very nice report, and then also it brought out a different dimension about bringing out the importance of the stage time and how we can utilize it well. So thank you so much. We'll move on to our counters report. Over to Toastmaster Lakshmi Ramesh.
Thank you, GV. Today, all the speakers have given wonderful, serene speeches without give up. The worst thing about this is when we use filler words, we don't even realize it, and this makes it quite hard for us to work on eliminating them. But today, every speaker decided not to give up. All are stubborn on their speech. So, especially on Sundareshan sir, DTM Sampath sir, the prepared speakers, they have well prepared and given their speech without any give up. And on the TD speakers, Om Kumar, Venkateseshan, Shankar Govindaraj, Yogesh Kumar, Darren, Raghunath Nair, and Raghunath Mishra, TM Saravanan, Nedu. Except Yogesh Kumar and Nedu, these two people have used some passes, but otherwise they used repeated words 2-3 times. Otherwise, their speeches also is clean speech they have given. Evaluators, if you go to evaluators, Aishwarya Lakshmi, Periyasamy, Suganti ma'am is excellently they have given their clean speech. I don't have anything to find out in mid of their speeches. It's really good to hear their speeches. Well done for not giving up their speech. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi. Now we'll move on to the Grammarians Report. Over to DTM Guru Prasad.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Let me open my, give me a second to open my. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, DTM Guru.
Yeah, first of all, yeah, thank you for this opportunity. I really enjoyed listening to all the speeches keenly, sentence by sentence, word by word, and I gained a lot of language knowledge today. And very nice theme of the day given, representing our Thalai, Ajit. Never ever give up, except the ever was missed here. And of course, I definitely connect Neeraj Chopra with the word of perseverance. I really kudos, I mean, my appreciations and kudos to the Toastmaster of the day for selecting these two. Of course, the word of the day was selected by me. Now, going into project speeches, first of all, I apologize. My terrible journey of never ever giving up continued till Uday completed speech. I had some issues in connecting, listening, all that stuff. I missed noting down some of the nice usages that Uday had made. When moving on to Toastmaster Sundaresan, he connected with the theme of the day at least thrice, but I'm not sure he used the theme of the word of the day. Some of good usages in his speeches where his speech was, emphasize extra mile, noble soul, curiosity, and stubbornness. I really like the usage, going extra mile for the sake of others. Unity will blossom around us. These were very good usages. Coming to distinguished Toastmaster Sampath Sarvajan's speech, he used connected theme of the day once in his speech and used the word perseverance continuously twice, but with a good sense in his speech. And he used a triad. I missed the first part. I only noted notorious and nocturnal eyes. Definitely remember it was a triad. It was a very nice usage. Automatic transmission, of course, in the days when he was driving in Qatar, automatic transmission was a new word in India. That's why I noted down. Violent push. And I really like this. Careless fellow made me a carless fellow. I mean, nice way of using wordplay and humor really made us enjoy his speech. Appreciation to you, DTM Sampath. With respect to the other speakers, this is on evaluation. Toastmaster Aishwarya used the word courageous. Toastmaster Periyasamy used words like excelled, comfortable, and a dyad like as enthusiastic and attractive. The distinguished Toastmaster Suganti used play of words. That was a nice usage. Bountiful of laughter. It was good. Moving on to table training session. Yeah, it was real, I would say bountiful of words. The training session was. So he connected the never give up a couple of times during his speech, and the good usages were unleashed a champion, summation, high note, heterogeneous and homogeneous. And this statement of went in business class and came back in cargo, though it was a quote from another speech, it struck me, at least me, like a lightning thunderbolt, and it sort of made me emotionally disturbed for a couple of minutes. That particular phrase had so much of effect and impact on our emotions. Count your blessings. Club is your playground. I really like this phrase. Bettering, exude, aura of intellect, be shameless. Moving on to the table topic, and it was really enjoyable. Toastmaster Om Kumar, of course. Glad to see guest Om Kumar as Toastmaster Om Kumar today. Welcome to Medley and on your maiden TT as a Toastmaster. Toastmaster Venkateshan used both the theme of the day and word of the day once. There were good words like desperate situation and dejected. Toastmaster Shankar used words delicious and sumptuous. Both are connected to the food. Guest Yogesh, I really enjoyed. We were enjoying while you were so scared of this cockroach, and we were really able to understand your clandestine brave front. Fear factor on crawling creatures. I really laughed at this statement. Fearful, conceited. Guest Taran, train your body, train your mind, and go reach your goal. I think I'm going to stick this when I wake up in the morning to see as a first sentence. Toastmaster Raghunath Nair, a walk in the rain. Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra, stepping stones changing with the destination. Toastmaster Saravanan, being empathetic, being truthful. I'm sorry, I missed the third part in your triad. Yes, Nedu, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And of course, the word encounter, I mean circumstances that we encounter, not the encounter with the gun. Moving on to some of the observations and corrections. How did you felt could have been told as how did you feel? Enjoy the experience could be told as enjoying the experience in the context of the statement delivered in the speech. In life, what happened should have been told as in life, what happened. Successfully achieved 24 years could have been told as successfully reached 22 years. How a lady is giving food is how a lady was giving food, because that story was told in the past tense. The very little improvement could have been told as a small improvement. Here where I felt could have been told as here is where I felt. Somewhere where could have been told just as somewhere. And one small suggestion, observation here is we are used to this. I'm not blaming any particular individual speaker. It has become a culture to add sir whenever we feel respectful of a person. Guru sir, Kalyan sir, Sampath sir. Sir is a word to be used while addressing in second person. You're talking to someone directly, you address him as sir. Whereas when you talk about him as a third person, you say Mr., Mrs., Madam, Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster. But you don't say Guru sir, Kalyan sir. So I see this on a lighter note, thanks to actress Kushbu. She is the one who introduced, I think, this whole phrase into the newer Tamil English. Please avoid using sir when you're talking about a particular person or a lady in a third person. With these words of my observations and my small recommendation, I hand over back to G. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DTM Guru. We will move on to the next session as a part of evaluation. It is going to be the GE's summary report. So today we started on time, though our Sergeant at Arms had some technical problem to join the meeting on time. Like we overcome on a timely basis, and then we took a call, and then we started on time. So it was wonderful, and then we managed the situation. And all the proposed speeches were very well prepared, and then there were different types of topics and different areas of speeches. So and all the speakers have prepared the speeches well and rehearsed, and then many of them have actually like stood up and spoke, and it was a nice session with respect to the proposed speeches. And the training session conducted by Toastmaster Jagan was very well executed. We will have to have a nice round of applause for Toastmaster Jagan. And also, like today, Toastmaster Uday has given the icebreaker speech, and it was delivered well. So let's have a round of applause for the icebreaker speech given by Toastmaster Uday. And the TT session was conducted well by our Toastmaster Surya, and the topics were in different aspects about life and about some situational scenarios, and it also brought out a different thought process for all our Toastmasters and guests. And opportunity was given to like many of the guests and senior Toastmaster and all the Toastmasters. This was one another wonderful session for today with respect to TT session. And one of the area that I can see where we have to improve on is that being the online session, like we kind of end up joining in the last minute or a few minutes late. Maybe we'll have to avoid that. And as a GE, General Evaluator, today I also joined a few minutes late, but it's my job that I need to ensure that all the evaluation team is present in the meeting and they are all prepared and then they are ready. But unfortunately, I was not able to do that. And Toastmaster Adisai was actually joining late. So we had that situation of where DT and Sugandhi to come in and then take up the evaluator role. So we have to ensure that we follow this basics and then we join on time and also make sure that all the role players are available on time. That's on my side, but yeah, we'll have to do that. So all the tag players have done their job wonderfully well. So they are all senior Toastmasters. Toastmaster Kalyan has brought up the another aspect of the timers report. Maybe that can be, I would recommend to the XCOM that the template or the report given by Toastmaster Kalyan can be used for future meetings. And again, we have detailed reports getting prepared as a part of our collect those reports and maintain it. I don't know. I'm just trying to bring this up.
Dinagaran, you're on mute.
I was talking for a few minutes. I just went on mute now, or
yeah, just now.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was not sure I didn't do anything. Okay, maybe something now. Okay. Yeah, so I was talking about Toastmaster Kalyan's report. Hope you were able to hear that. Okay, fine. Yeah, so I was trying to recommend that should we try to collect all these reports and Excels and other reports for all the role players that we do, right? So we collect it and maintain it and also try to make use of some of the best practices followed by some of the Toastmasters is something that I will leave to XCOM and see and evaluate the options. So overall, it was a wonderful meeting. It was actually a very smooth meeting and the flow was very nice and it was meeting the Medley standards. Thank you so much. And I'll hand it over to TMOD.
G, with your permission, shall I launch the tag player?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Please, yeah. Thank you. We are done.
Go to TMOD, Toastmaster Recognition.
Venkat, you're speaking on mute. Yeah, I would like to summarize my never give up theme of the day. With my continuous perseverance, as Toastmaster Jagan mentioned, club level, playground, Medley club level, I am very happy to inform all the Toastmasters and the guests. I have successfully completed the interview for the arbitration post in BIPO, arbitration and mediation. The VIVA will be there in the December 1st week. I hope because of my Medley home club playground, I learned how to speak and how to deliver. I hope I clear that VIVA and then I'm the first person from Indian counterpart representing for the country. With this, I will hand over the dais to the President, Toastmaster Ranga. Thank you.
TMOD, with your permission, shall I launch the best role player polling?
Yeah, okay. Fine.
So in the meanwhile, what a fabulous meeting. It was well attended and every bit of whether it was the prepared speeches or the table topics, I had a whale of a time. It was wonderful. So I'll just wait for the announcement of the best the role player, and I can announce the results straight away.
I've shared
it. Okay. So let me share the best awards for today. The best role player goes to TM Surya. The best tag player.
I'm sorry, Mr. President. The best role player is a tie between Surya and Venkatesan.
I didn't notice that.
I had mentioned to you, yeah.
Yeah. So the best role players is a tie between Toastmaster Venkatesan and Toastmaster Surya. And the best tag player is TM Kalyan. Best speaker is Toastmaster Sundaresan. Best TT player is guest Yogesh Kumar. And the best evaluator is DTM Sugandhi Periyasam. With that, there are a few announcements that we'll have to make. The next week, we have our area director coming in, Dr. DTM Sampath Saurirajan, who will be visiting our club as the area director. So we have to put up our best front. So I request all members to come in and execute their roles appropriately and perfectly. Thank you. And with that, I would like to adjourn meeting number 640 with the sound of this gavel. Thank you. And with that, we can just stay behind for some discussions. Anything that members or the guests would feel like, I would like to ask guest Nedu to say a few words about how he came to know about Medley.
My friend Jagan introduced me to this forum, and I'm very fortunate to participate in this meeting. This is my first time being engaged in a professional setting where people evaluate your speeches. So this was a new experience to me, and I really hope to continue this and probably join the Medley as well in future sessions. Thank you.
We look forward to seeing you in action every week going forward. Thank you, yes. Toastmaster Jagan, for introducing guest Nedu to us. And the next, I would like to call upon guest Yogesh to say a few words about yourself to the club for the benefit of new members who are here.
Thank you, Toastmaster. So this is my second session. This is my second consecutive week joining as a guest. And I was introduced to the club through one of my colleagues, Mr. Anjaneya Shastri, and he knows Dr. Saurirajan. So I came to know and got the invite extended to me for the last week. And so far I've been having all positive vibes about spending this 2 hours, which is really worthwhile. And I'm so thankful to each one of you for letting me part of your club. So this is a positive place, and I would recommend this for others as well who are interested to upskill themselves in the life. So thanks.
Thank you, Yogesh. We'll definitely stay in touch, and we look forward to you visiting our club every weekend. Next, I would like to call guest Dharan, who has been a regular now. And could you just introduce yourself for the benefit of members who... Dharan? I guess he has dropped out. Okay. So that's it from me. Thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everybody. I'm dropping off. Thank you all. Thanks.